Hey guys, this is Pato Award, and you're listening to Indie Sports Podcast. And or what is that? Is that what it's called? Is that
That's
right?
that's perfect.
Or did I say something wrong?
No, trust me, man. I mean, I can edit all this. It's no
What
problem.
is
You
it?
can
What is it again? Indie Sports Podcast or what?
The
the
Indie Sports Car Podcast.
Indie Sports Cars Podcast.
nice. Yeah. If you want to try it again, go ahead.
Hi guys, I'm Pato Award, and you're listening to the Indie Sports Car Podcast.
Welcome, ICP fans, to another episode of the Indie Sports Car Podcast. Hey, Missy,
Hello, hello.
aren't you going to introduce our guest?
Yeah, myself. You can find me at Missy Links, Linkz, on Twitter.
That's right. And where can they find all of our stuff at, Missy?
That'd be www.theindysportscarpodcast.com.
That's right. And we're on YouTube now too, guys. Yeah, we're putting the show up on YouTube. People have been finding it, so that's pretty cool. But yeah, no guests this week. Feels weird. 1 week we have 3, and well, we always have a guest, really. I mean, you can blame me because I was like, I don't know, I was out of it today. I worked late last night and didn't plan on going to work today, but then of course, get an emergency call in the morning, so I've been working all day, and didn't really try to reach out to anybody until about 5 minutes ago. So terrible planning by me. Blame me. So you're stuck with Missy and me tonight. Oh, it's going to be one heck of a show, Miss.
Oh, it always is.
Hey, but they get to hear you talk more, so that's good. Give what the fans want, right? They want to hear from Missy more. So Missy, go ahead. I think we're gonna try something different. And this is actually Adrian's idea. Flip roles, and you kind of steer the ship, host the show, so to speak. And I'll be your executive producer co-host. Go ahead.
I always steer the ship anyway, so I don't see where that goes, but okay.
Well, you tell me when the ship is veering off into an iceberg, and then I go, oh, and I turn the wheel back the other way. Yeah. Yep.
Well, luckily you won't have to do any of that with me, so there you go.
We'll see.
So you'll have an easy job.
Well, let's see.
So this weekend in the racing world, we're going to dive into IMSA first because they were at Detroit also along with IndyCar. Not all classes were there. Of course, the greatest class ever, the GTLM class, was not there. They're already over in France preparing for the 24 hours of Le Mans.
Did you see the picture yet that they lined up all the cars for the Le Mans?
I did.
And did you see your beautiful vets in the background there?
I did.
Yeah.
We're also on top of practice the other day.
I'm shocked. The vets always dominate.
Well, last year they didn't take home first place, but looking to change that this year. So my boy's off to a good start. See, I've been wearing my shoes, my vets on them, so my little racing.
Right on.
My Pilates. Is that what they're called? Pilates?
Something close to that.
My black and yellow, representing my Corvette. Anyway, so they were in Detroit this weekend, the prototype, the PC class, and the GTD class. And of course, winning in your prototype category, you had Jordan Taylor and Ricky Taylor, of course, in our Cadillac DPI. And then in second was Dane Cameron and Eric Curran in the Cadillac DPI. And coming in third was Tom Long and Joel Miller in the Mazda DPI.
So,
And that was your prototype class, your
so,
podium.
so IMS's BOP of the DPI class was a big fail. Go ahead.
And then, of course, you have your PC class. Of course, they're all Orca FLM09s. So, winning again was James French and Pato Award. Continuing on. Woo! And then in second, you had Bruno Giancarlo and Tommy Drissy. And then, what?
I ain't saying.
All right. And then third, you had Ryan Lewis and Don Yant taking third in your PC class.
I think that was the whole field, wasn't it?
Yeah, it was.
Hey, but hey, James and Pato kicking some, yeah,
Yep.
clean show.
Is it 5 out of 5 or 4 out of 4?
4 out of 4.
4 out of 4. So there they go. 4 out of 4.
Undefeated.
Looking for a championship this year. In the last year, the PC class.
Isn't it amazing all the teammates James French have had over the years in PC class, and then he gets Pato this year, and the man is unstoppable with it, Pato. It's awesome. Just killing it with Pato.
And then in your GTD class, you had Andy Lally and Catherine Legg from Michael Shank Racing taking home the victory in the Acura NSX GT3. And then, a girl power here in the second place in GTD. You had Christina Nielsen and Alessandro Bolzan in the Scuderia Corsa. I said that wrong. Ferrari 488 GT3. And then in third, you had Brian Sellers and Madison Snow for Paul Miller Racing in the Lamborghini Huracan GT3. There's your podium for GTD.
Hey, Brian Sellers, right on. Back to my fucking Porsche days.
Yep.
Memories.
So that was your finishing order for Detroit this weekend for your IMSA WeatherTech Sports Car Championship.
That's right. At Belle Isle. The bumpiest track known to man.
So I guess there was nothing else really, right?
Trans Am was there.
Oh, trams. Okay.
I don't have a lineup running.
Oh.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. Maybe we might have Jordan Bernlower on later on in the show. He might buzz in there for a few minutes, tell us about it all. So if he does, he'll let you know about it. But the good thing is Jordan's been racing in Trans Am this year, so that's the important part. So, and really no MRTI news to speak of because they're not racing until Road America, which is in what, 3 weeks or 2? 3?
3.
Because they got a break in between Texas and Road America, don't they?
Yeah, it's the end of the month.
Okay.
Yeah.
You would think, like, logistically, like, they're going from north to south to north again, you know? But then again, you don't want to just oversaturate the middle north there, I guess, with, like, Indy and Detroit, you know? So, besides, the truck drivers get paid money to drive all the way down there. Anyways. So, I mean, doubleheader in Detroit, right?
Yep, doubleheader in Detroit.
Always an exciting race, sort of, but not for the racing, for other reasons. Past couple of years.
Well, they smoothed out some of the bumpier parts of the track, which is a good thing.
They did. There was a really cool picture, or like not a picture, but I guess, you know, Graham Rahal had the visor cam on his helmet, and I guess during the red flag at the end of was it race 2?
Yeah, race 2, I believe, was the red flag.
Yeah, he took off his gloves and kind of showed the visor cam, his hands, and all the blisters that were all over it. So everybody's hands are pretty screwed up right now, I'm sure. All healing up just so they can go to Texas. That's good. Big news, though, Missy.
Well, don't you want to go over the races first before you hit the news? IndyCar news?
I'm just so happy about it. I didn't think about it.
Oh.
What do you want to do, host?
I thought I was the host, but...
I'm so used to doing it, I'm sorry. I'll shut up.
Well, I'd like to review the races, and then we can go over all the IndyCar news going out, because we'll have to go back and forth and talk about that.
Go ahead.
So we'll start with race 1 in Detroit. Your winner, of course, sweeping both races this weekend was Graham Rahal, becoming the first to sweep the weekend, I believe they said, right? I think so.
Yep.
Since they've been doing the Detroit doubleheader, so yeah, congratulations to Graham Rahal, your winner. Followed by Scott Dixon and James Hinchcliffe was your podium for race 1. Then you had Joseph Newgarden, Alexander Rossi, Mikel Loshin, Elio Castroneves, Takuma Sato, Ed Jones, Spencer Pigot, Max Chilton, Marco Andretti, Ryan Hunter-Reay, Carlos Munoz, Tony Kanaan, Simon Pagenaud, J.R. Hildebrand, Will Power, Esteban Gutierrez, Oriol Servia, Charlie Kimball, and Connor Daly was your finishing order for race 1. That one just had 2 cautions in it. One was, of course, the spin by James Hinchcliffe, who spun by himself. And then the second was Connor Daly had a mechanical failure, I think. And then Charlie Kimball went to avoid him and made contact, I believe, a little bit of contact, I believe.
Talking about race 1?
Yes.
I think so, yes, you're right. Mm-hmm.
So it wasn't Charlie's fault, guys, so.
For once.
For once. But there was a couple penalties thrown out this weekend. Number 83, service in a closed pit. Then you had 16 for pit speed violation, and number 21 was an improper pit exit. Got drive. Well, all the last two got drive-throughs. Kimball got a restart at the back of the field. So, I mean, pretty much, I guess it was uneventful. But then again, I was watching it on ABC, so it could have been very eventful, and I probably could have missed all of it.
The announcers weren't going to tell you about it.
Nope. I actually thought I hit the mute button on my TV quite a few times. The only thing that stopped me from thinking that was that I could hear the engines flying down the track, and I'm just like, okay, why are we not talking? Like, what? Say something!
Because everybody with mics on were feeling the I'm fired bug at the end of this event.
It was bad on race 2. I remember race 2, they said, oh,
Even worse.
They're gonna come around the corner here, and it'll be a green flag, and then, 45. I timed it because I was like, this is a really long silence here. So 45 seconds before the green flag flew, 45 seconds on, which is almost a whole entire lap around this track. Nobody said anything. Not a word. Not a word. And they're like, oh, there's some interesting action going on. I'm like, is there? Because you guys make it sound like nothing's happening.
But if you want to see all those replays, we have them all up on Twitter and Facebook on our fan page. All recorded. Interesting stuff.
Yeah. Oh, the ones that they replayed anyway, because some of them, they didn't even replay. Which I got a problem with that, too.
Hey, but we record everything, so we had to replay them ourselves. Hit rewind on our own DVR to do it. In case you missed it.
I'm not going to spend the whole show bashing ABC, because this was their last races of the year, so good riddance.
Who knows? The last race ever, maybe.
Oh, maybe. But it's the last race this year, so I don't have to deal with them anymore this year.
Well, we could only hope.
So welcome back, NBC. Woohoo!
Yep.
And speaking of which, qualifying will be on TV.
All right. Any practices, or will they be online streaming? I
think the practices are streaming.
Put it this way.
But I could be wrong.
the online streaming of the practices at Detroit this weekend and on Friday were more exciting than, by IndyCar radio than ABC's broadcast of the race. I'm not joking. It really was.
All right, no practices on TV, but qualifying will be live on TV on NBC Sports Network on Friday at 2:15.
Yeah, the streaming qualifying by IndyCar Radio was awesome compared to the broadcast. That's how bad it was. But hey, let's not harp on that, right?
Yeah.
They're gone. It's over. We've weathered the terrible storm.
Yes.
Yeah.
So that's the last race on ABC. Well, actually, Sunday, race 2, is the last race that's on ABC. So your winner was, again, like we said, Graham Rahal, followed by Joseph Newgarden and Will Power to round out your podium.
Hey.
Then he had Takuma Sato, Simon Pagenaud, Scott Dixon, Alexander Rossi, Charlie Kimball, Elio Castro-Neves, Tony Kanaan, Carlos Munoz, Connor Daly, Marco Andretti, Esteban Gutierrez, Max Chilton, Mikel Loshin, Ryan Hunter-Reay, J.R. Hildebrand, Oriol Servia, James Hinchcliffe, Spencer Pigot, and Ed Jones was your finishing order for race 2.
Yeah, Ed Jones had a problem, spun around, and then they kind of pushed him behind the safer barrier.
Yeah. He had a mechanical issue, and so did James Hinchcliffe, and Spencer Pigot also had mechanical issues. James, I forget what his mechanical issue was, and then right after that, Spencer had lots of smoke coming from his car, which I believe is what brought out the red flag.
It was really weird, too, because, Graham had this race locked up, and then it was, and then all of a sudden, I believe it was Hinchcliffe, right? Just comes to just a halt on the track, which brought out a yellow, which brought out, I guess, the yellow flag, or I don't know, locally, I don't know what it was, but at any rate, so it was a yellow, so we were like, oh, okay, so race 2 is going to end in a yellow thing, okay, but then all of a sudden, Spigot's car, the back of it became a spigot of smoke. But by the way, Missy, there's a lot of really good tweets about that. So the whole spigot thing's really catching on. I'm sure you're happy about that.
Thrilled.
So, yeah, but I thought it was funny. So yeah, but a lot of smoke coming off of the back of the car, and yeah, that brought out the red flag, which they pulled into the pits, and we had a very exciting, we had what could have been a very exciting 2-lap shootout for the end of race 2, but Graham was just very strong. Graham's car was hooked up. Nobody could catch him.
Yeah.
And he just ran away with it like he did all race. So there you go. Back-to-back wins. And, I did love Graham's post-race presser race 1, where he took shots back at Hamilton. Believe the best quote of it was, you put Scott Dixon in the Silver Arrow, and I'd love to see what they do against him. So, mad respect from Graham Rahal to Scott Dixon.
Yep. There was a couple drivers that took shots over there, but
there's a few. Yeah, there's a few.
But I guess that was it wasn't, too thrilling a race, races this weekend, Detroit's always, different races.
Well, that's what I was trying to explain to people, look, Detroit and Sonoma are the 2 races that we kind of have to, as fans, go, all right, I'll concede that these 2 events could be some snoozers, because they're directly aimed at sponsors. They're it's IndyCar's way of giving back to the sponsors that, by the way, make IndyCar even, a thing, right? Make it possible to exist. So, if you ask me, if I have to give up, Sonoma and Detroit as two events that I have to watch just so I get, I don't know, Indy, Road America, Watkins Glen, Mid Ohio, Iowa, the list goes on and on. I'm all about it. So, you know what? The sponsors can have those two races so we can have all the rest of them and the series. So everybody needs to kind of, settle down about that, I think. What do you think?
Yeah, I mean, every race isn't going to be spectacular. I mean, it's always. I mean, these races, this Detroit Gate goes either way. Sometimes they're great races, other times, they're just. They fall into what's the word I'm looking for? Help me out here. They fall in line, and that's where they stay, I guess, is where I'm trying to go with this.
Like a parade?
Yeah, there you go.
Yeah. And if if you notice,
Gutierrez did a decent job. I mean, he didn't crash, right?
no, I mean, and he got better as both races went on. I mean, he did a lot better in race 2 than he did race 1. But nobody's questioning Gutierrez's, talent. I mean, Haas wouldn't have hired him if he didn't have any. You don't get to F1 on no talent,
Yeah.
So, yeah. I'm interested to see how he does, like, towards the end of the year.
Yeah.
Say, like, in Toronto, maybe, or Mid-Ohio. Even Watkins Glen. Let's see what he does in Watkins Glen. It's gonna be interesting.
Yeah. But he won't be racing at Texas. So IndyCar has deemed that he is not racing at Texas. Why? Because there would be no time for him to have a oval rookie test. Since right now IndyCar is in a testing blackout period.
Yes,
so, which I personally, people could disagree with me, but I personally think this is a good decision. You're right. He has no testing. He's never done an oval before. I think it would be crazy to put him out there in Texas with no testing or anything. You can say Fernando Alonso didn't have any oval experience all you want, but he also had 2.5 weeks of practice.
Yeah, exactly. So
I think this is a smart move.
Yeah, and he was able to go through the rookie testing and everything because he started right in the beginning of everything.
Right. So I personally think this was a great decision by IndyCar. Not just for Gutierrez, but I mean for all the other drivers out there too driving. I mean,
he's a liability.
Yeah, plain and simple.
And who they got to fill in for him has plenty of experience on ovals, so I think it's great.
Yep. So released was that Tristan Vautier will be filling in the number 18 for Texas.
Yeah, Tristan.
And as far as I have heard, Esteban Gutierrez, he has parted with the Formula E team with the intention of running the rest of the season with Dale Coyne. So,
which is what he said would happen if the IndyCar thing did come to be. Yeah. He'd rather do IndyCar than Formula E any day of the week, he said. Pretty much.
Yeah. So.
Good news. We may have Jordan to tell us about the Trans Am at Detroit as well, Missy. So, would you like to hear about it?
And now, back to our regular scheduled program.
And go, Missy.
Sure. I'd love to hear about it.
All right. Jordan, you there?
Yeah. Trans Am at Detroit. It was its second year in a row for it. It was my first year for it. The first year I was just a spectator trying to get to see what it's like. I was very anxious watching last year, and being able to race it this year was definitely a privilege, and it was fun. We just nothing was going our way this weekend, to be honest. So it was a little hard to deal with.
Well, I mean, but look at it this way. At least you didn't have to deal with like all the bumps that they had last year.
Yeah, no, I was told that it was much less bumpy this year, so that was good.
So what was the kind of problems that you were having?
Maybe a little bit of car setup, trying to get a good setup on the car, a little bit of adapting to the track. It's definitely it's a challenge. I've never ran a street course in my life, and being able to just find the edge but not get to the edge and crash it was a challenge, but I definitely enjoyed it. I really hope to go back again.
Right on. Missy, yeah, we're doing something a little different here, Jordan. Missy's actually hosting the show tonight, so Missy's going to be.
Yeah, because that's how it's going off so long.
Well, it's hard. It's hard to break old habits, but you know. So, I'm gonna let Missy pretty much ask you the next about 15 questions.
No.
Yes.
No.
Yeah. That's how it's gonna go. Go ahead, Missy.
No, it's not.
Seriously?
Yeah, seriously.
Taking charge.
Oh, you gotta have at least one question.
Detroit and Trent. No, I don't.
Okay.
Already throughout, you had a bad weekend. I mean, what?
Well, we're okay. So well, I mean, bad
Where are you going next? What track are you going to next to get this one off your chest?
The series is going to Indianapolis Motor Speedway next. We're not 100% sure if we're gonna do the next one, but we're hoping to do it at Indianapolis.
I hope you do.
Yeah.
Great track. Great GP track, man. A lot of fun. I mean, you've obviously been there. I mean, as a spectator, but you know.
Well, I've also driven there.
I
tested in 2014 at the Chris Griffiths Memorial Test.
All right.
So yeah, no, I have time on the track, and I definitely think it could be a pretty good track. I think it would race pretty well. I think it should bring up the spectators, the fans. It's a TV race, so that's another reason to try and make it out there. It's just.
Oh, do you know what channel?
Yeah, CBS Sports.
Oh, okay, right on.
Same with Detroit will be televised also.
When do you know?
I think it's 2 weeks delayed, so probably within the next 2 weeks.
Okay, so check your local listings, CBS Sports, for the Trans Am race from Detroit, Belle Isle. All right, so what's your impressions on Belle Isle, man? I mean, you were a spectator last year. But being on the track, I'm sure is a big difference. And you said it's your first street race, so I mean, it's got to be a little bit intimidating where there's really no room for error, because that room for error is a big concrete wall. So.
Yep. Yeah. No. Belle Isle it's its own different animal. I mean, the running wall to wall and the bumps and stuff. It's absolutely badass. I had a lot of fun. I thought it was actually a pretty great racetrack for it to be just a street course. I thought it raced pretty well, and it definitely put on a show. There was one real big pileup right after I unfortunately tagged the wall and ended my day.
Oh, so you did find the edge and went over it.
Absolutely, I found the edge, unfortunately.
Well, I mean, it's a learning experience, right?
Oh, yeah, absolutely. Everything is a learning experience, and that's what I'm trying to take away from it.
I mean, did you hurt the car really bad, or was it not too bad?
the front end was pretty bad. I mean, just nothing crazy. I will say it looked a lot worse at first, but once we finally got into it and figuring out what all is needed to be done, it's not as bad as we thought.
That's fair enough. I always there's a question I always kind of had for drivers that do kind of make a boo boo, so to speak.
Yeah.
What goes through your mind, man? Like, do you feel like a lot of guilt that, oh, now my guys have to fix this, or, I mean, like, what goes through your head?
Well, I'll tell you for sure. I was we were just running in 7th place, just kind of running, trying to be smooth, keeping our distance, and we were starting to close in on 6th and 5th, and we had about 35, 40 minutes left in the race. So I was just getting comfortable. So being that I was able to hit the wall and end the race, I mean, guilt, disappointment, it was all there. It was just one of those things where you know how you want to redo because 9 times out of 10 you're going to make that save, and that was the 10 out of 10 that I didn't.
Oh, I got you. Okay, so it's just like, oh no, like is it like the like when you first get back to the paddock and everything, like so like what did you say to your guys when you first got back there to your team?
I mean, it wasn't even. It was more of when I got back to my team, I just kind of said told them what happened. I apologize, and it's just a bummer for how our day ended.
Well, yeah, it's just something I've always wanted to ask, but never really asked anybody. And there you go. Everybody's human, though, right? Everybody makes mistakes, and that's why they call them accidents, right? I'm sure you didn't do it on purpose, right? At least I hope you didn't.
Absolutely not. No, and that's a big thing. I mean, you got to learn from your mistakes.
And you kind of have to learn how to put it, how to like push it aside, forget about it, and move on, right?
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, it was definitely difficult. I was not a happy person, and it was just a little stressful.
So, like, I mean, obviously that's easier said than done, right? I mean.
Oh, absolutely. As is everything.
That's true. So, like you personally, like, what do you do to kind of like move on from, a situation like that, and so that the next time you go racing, that's not even in your head at all. Like what do you do personally?
Personally, I just have to try and chop it up as I made a mistake. People make mistakes, and it's going to happen again. It's the inevitable if you're racing. I mean, when you're racing door to door, people are racing hard. They're banging, and you can there's room for error, and that's the big thing. Just trying to keep the confidence up, stay positive, and just hit your marks and go about it like you normally would.
That's the best way to go about it. A good answer. Very good answer.
Yeah.
Right on. Well, okay, so up to that, you said you had about 35 minutes left to go, and you're just settling in. So how did the race feel to you? And what was like the biggest challenge that you had to overcome to really get comfortable?
For the race, I mean, it really wasn't anything. I mean, we qualified 7th. We made it past the 6th, and then Rafa Matos, obviously the ex IndyCar driver, he was racing one of the TA2 cars, and he was real quick. He didn't have the best qualifying session, so he was able to get to the back of me, and he made a good pass on me, and I basically just kind of hooked up with him, and I was trying to go with him to the front. So everything was feeling pretty good. Car was pretty good. Maybe a little bit on the loose side, but nothing unmanageable.
Oh, right on. And now, I mean, IndyCar has the duel there, but you guys only had one race there, right?
Yeah, I do wish we had two, but yes, only one.
Okay. And were all the other racing that was going on, the IMSA race and the IndyCar race, were you able to catch them, or were you too preoccupied with what you guys were doing?
the IMSA race I just caught just from Twitter and TV and stuff, but IndyCar I caught, and we also caught Stadium Super Trucks, which there may be a possibility that we see me in it soon.
Oh, do tell, do tell.
I was actually do you know who Sheldon Creed is?
No.
My teammate in TA2 is Sheldon Creed, who is the Stadium Super Trucks champion, the defending champion, and so he's real good friends with Robbie, and I was able to put something together to fly out to to Robbie Gordon's place in North Carolina on Thursday, and so Thursday night got to get into the truck, get some laps in. Then the next day, Friday, got basically a full day of testing in a Stadium Super Truck, which it was the coolest thing I'll probably ever drive, and it's definitely it was difficult, but so much fun.
Now they're the trucks that they got the jumps and everything, right?
Yep, the metal ramps, correct.
Missy, do you remember watching them at St. Pete the last time we went to St. Pete? Remember they raced there in up and down the front stretch and then pit lane?
Yeah.
Yeah, that was pretty cool. That was pretty cool, man. So what's it like flying in the air in a truck?
The jumping is actually pretty easy. I mean, maybe the first couple hits, I mean, you just got to gather the courage to try and go about flat out. But otherwise, I mean, the suspension's really good, and you just got to hit the jump straight. And if you do that, you'll have no issues.
But if you don't...
Yeah, but like we said, easier said than done. That comes into play sometimes.
Yeah, right, exactly. Well, that's cool, man. So I really hope it pans out for you, brother.
Yeah, thank you.
Because, that racing is a lot of fun, I'll tell you what. I mean, they don't really televise that too often, do they? Or do I just not know where it is?
No, they actually do. For a long time, it was on NBC Sports, and Lee Diffie was the commentator. So, I mean, they were getting great coverage. And I'm not positive. They're either on Fox Sports or CBS Sports. But no, they have real good coverage. I mean, the marketability in Stadium Super Trucks is pretty amazing, actually. I mean, you watch IndyCar races, and you watch the fans watching IndyCar, and you watch them watch our races in IMSA. It's just normal racing. But when you look at the fans and they watch Stadium Super Trucks, it's like fireworks. I mean, really, you listen to the crowd, and they go off the jump, and it's like, ooh, and then once they land, it's ah. So, it's just like watching fireworks. It's kind of funny.
That's cool. That's kind of how we were when we seen it, because it was the first time we ever saw it. We were like, "What is this? Oh, look at that!"
Yeah, I mean, it's something not many people have seen. So obviously, it's going to strike some attention.
Definitely. So right on. So okay, so you caught both IndyCar races, which we were just kind of like on the tail end of talking about, right, Missy?
Okay, sorry, I should say
Yeah.
I wasn't able to catch Saturday, but Sunday I was.
Okay, right on. Well, I mean, they both kind of mirrored each other, really.
I noticed that.
Yeah. So what did you take away from being there? Because watching it on ABC's coverage was really bad. So I don't know. Was it a lot more exciting being there? I'm guessing. Oh, it always is, but I mean, the coverage on ABC is just atrocious. Really was. So what'd you take away from watching it live there?
Yeah, absolutely. No, I really enjoyed it. It was cool watching. I mean, and honestly, Graham was so impressive. I can't really believe that he was able to sweep the whole weekend. It was super cool just getting the real viewpoint of watching the cars go through like turn 2. I mean, there's a bump there that they're almost getting air, and I know what that bump feels like, and I can just imagine because they're doing so much quicker than us.
Yeah, I mean, like I was saying to Missy when they red flagged it, which I'm really happy they red flagged it. Well, I mean, were you expecting the red flag to come out at the end there?
This was for Saturday, correct, or Sunday?
For Sunday, yeah.
Sunday. I'm trying to think of who was involved in it.
Let's see. We just said Hinchcliffe came.
Hinchcliffe and Spencer Piggott.
Yeah.
Oh, yep. Yep. Yeah. No, that was good because I mean it was in a bad part of the track, which I mean in these courses you have to red flag these.
Yeah, I know. It was just cool to see them red flag it, so we were, everybody was treated to like a 2-lap shootout at the end, you know.
Yeah, absolutely.
I gotta say, I'm all for it. I hate yellow ending races. Hate.
Oh, there's nothing worse.
I don't care if it's my favorite driver who's in first. I want a green flag finish.
Yep, I agree.
Nothing's more exciting. Yeah. I mean, and it's just insane that every one of Dario's Indy 500 wins came under yellow. Isn't that weird?
Is that actually everyone?
Every single one.
Wow.
Right up to his last one when Sato dive bombed him.
Yep, that's crazy.
It's a very weird stat. I mean, that's just, it's just weird. It's a weird thing to say, you know?
Yeah.
So, what's your year been like in Trans Am there, Jordan? How's it been going, really? Like,
The year started out great. We went to Sebring. We were top 3, top 5 fastest every session. We actually had a red flag at Sebring, and going into it, I was sitting 4th place with about, I think, 4 laps to go. And we were in 4th place. We had, I think, probably 2nd or 3rd quickest lap. And on the restart, I just got pushed off a little bit, hit the grass, and all of a sudden I found myself from going from 4th to 11th. And then those last 2 or 3 laps, I mean, I fought like crazy and got up to 7th, so finished 7th there. And then we went to Homestead, and Homestead we were quick also every time, and we were same thing in 4th place, and 4th place with the fastest lap of the whole race, which I've only done that once or twice, so it felt really good to have. I mean, obviously the fast lap of the race, but the car just got a little too loose, and I dropped the tire, and around we went. So we had to settle for about a 10th place or 11th, and then Road Atlanta was just we got 8th. It was pretty average. I really don't like being in the back top 10.
It's probably the track. Yeah, it's definitely the track.
Road Atlanta.
Yeah, I have a it's just a personal thing.
Yeah, no, I also, I know a lot of people who love Road Atlanta, and I mean, I don't not like it, but I guess I maybe struggle a little bit there, and I guess that takes a little bit more of a viewpoint for me from there, but I don't find it as this spectacular track that everyone else does.
Me neither. And it's got a lot of red ants.
Yeah, absolutely. Yes, it does.
Yep, infested with red ants, that place does. So
we don't want to hear that story again.
No, go to, I think it's like episode 50 or something like that, and check it out. RedDragonsRadio.com or Podbean, the Podbean app. You'll be able to go through our library, and you'll be able to find it. Yep, you can hear all about it.
Yep.
So yeah, and then so I guess Road Atlanta was the last track or the last race up to Detroit.
Yep, correct.
Right on. So, needless to say, I mean, I guess you've been pretty strong. You've just been finding some bad luck at the end there. Sounds like.
Yeah, no, I mean that's the big thing. We just haven't been able to finish properly, and that's definitely the most stressful thing we've been having this year.
Well, being fans of the driver that Missy and I are, we know all about that. So, you're right, Missy.
Absolutely.
So many times. It's like, oh, God, come on. How many times now? Anyways.
Yeah, no, it's amazing what the racing world will do. I mean, when you're on top and you're winning, I mean, you are literally untouchable. No one, you feel like you're invincible, this and that. And when things aren't going right, when you're struggling, it's a whole different ball game. I mean, it changes everything.
Do you find yourself pushing too hard? Like trying to make up the difference almost?
Really, no, I don't think it's pushing too hard. Maybe pushing a little bit harder than I was, but no, I think it's just. I mean, granted, I've made just a few little mistakes that I mean in racing. Once you get that point of air, I mean, normally it doesn't go well. So I think it's just been really little stuff and nothing's really clicked. So I'm just waiting for that one weekend where we can get our mojo back and go straight charge into the front.
There you go. Very well put. Excuse me. So, all right. Well, nothing but the best of luck to you for the rest of the season. Hopefully, you guys make it to Indianapolis. That'd be great.
Yeah, thank you. I really appreciate it.
When is Indianapolis, by the way?
Indianapolis is in 2 weeks.
All right. Okay. So I think, and Missy, is that a week off for IndyCar? I believe, because it's Texas, then a week off, then Road America, right?
Yeah, Road America's not till like June 25th-ish, I think.
Yep. So there you go. No IndyCar race that weekend, and if you guys are close to Indy, go check out the Trans Am boys because they put on a heck of a show, man. A lot of great racing in TA2 class. That's
Yeah,
for sure.
absolutely.
And still in the Challenger.
Yep, still in the Speed Logic's number 77 Dodge Challenger.
Right on. Just wanted everybody to know who to root for when they go there.
Yep.
Right
No,
on.
absolutely.
Right on. All right. Well, Jordan, we were just going to get into a little bit of IndyCar news and all that good stuff. So I don't know if you've heard, because I know you were just karting with your karting club there, and you just got done. So
Yep.
I don't know if you heard, but it just kind of happened. But Missy, do you want to go over the story?
Is that the Gutierrez and Tristan story again, or?
Yeah, might as well. Yeah. Mm-hmm.
Oh, okay. So Esteban Gutierrez has not been cleared to race for Texas, as we stated earlier, because of course he can't have any testing, which I think is a very great idea. You know, he should at least test before he throw him onto Texas of all places. So I think that's great. But he'll be racing for the remainder of the season for Dale Coyne, because he already broke his contract, or whatever got out of his contract with Formula E, so he'll be racing for the rest of the year. So the next oval isn't until Iowa, which is the beginning of July, so I'm sure he'll have plenty of time to get a test in there somewhere and get approved by IndyCar to be able to race on ovals.
Wow.
But taking his place for this weekend, it was announced, will be Tristan Vautier will be taking his place this weekend for the oval.
Yeah.
That's awesome.
Music to my ears. Very happy for Tristan. Very happy for Tristan. Well, Tristan's a good friend of ours, so very happy for him.
Yep. Yeah. Real quick, funny. I mean, it's a little bit of a story. When I was on my way to fighting the United flights, the good old United, I was on my way to I was in the Charlotte airport, and I was on the phone, and Tristan Vautier just walked right by me, and he was on the phone too, so I didn't say anything to him, but I mean, we literally just crossed paths.
You should have at least stuck your tongue out at him and gave him the middle finger, so you could have screwed up his phone call with whoever he was talking to.
Yeah, no, we both were. We were both on a mission. It looked like.
No, he did that to me when I was interviewing Ryan Briscoe.
Oh, cool.
Yeah, he stood behind Ryan Briscoe and gave me the finger and stuck his tongue out at me for about 5-10 minutes. Screwed the whole interview up. Yep.
That's awesome.
Yeah, so I got a little payback that I need to give him.
Yep.
So that's why I said that. So I'll rock on. And IndyCar released the rendering, another rendering of what the aero kits are going to look like for next year. They look awesome. Dallara is going to be building it. So that settles that argument. Who's going to build the new aero kits? Well, Dallara's going to do it. So there you go. And I don't know if you've seen it, Jordan, but it looks awesome. Awesome.
Yeah, I have seen it. I'm a big fan of it.
Isn't it, Missy? Is it awesome or what?
They are beautiful.
Just sexy as hell. Love him. Oh, I can't wait to see him next year with all the great liveries on him. Imagine that thing chrome with Verizon on the side of it. Heck yeah. And, the number 1 on the roll hoop. Anyway, it's going to look awesome that way, I think. I think it'll look the best with that livery. What do you think, Liz?
Yeah, it'll look nice with chrome.
And the LED number 1, right on the roll hoop there. Yep. Open roll hoop, by the way. Yep.
Yeah.
I'm so unbiased. Whatever that word is, where you're supposed to be, but I'm not. Anyway, okay, so moving on. Graham's lucky I'm not destroying him because I can't stand him. But hey, I respect him where respect's due, and yeah, he did sweep the weekend, so that did happen.
Yes, he did.
Chavez is also going to be racing in Texas for Harding Racing. You think Harding's going to be a full-time team next year, or what?
That's their goal.
You think Chavez is going to be their driver?
I would think it's a good possibility, yeah.
I'm liking that. I like the sound of that. More
Yeah,
I mean,
teams.
that's their goal. They want to do a full season in 2018. That's their goal. Which the reason they didn't do the rest of this season, I think, was because of course, the new car coming out next year. So what's the point of, getting a road course kit and they already did the Super Speedway.
Yep.
And the other two are Texas and Pocono, so they don't have to get anything else. So why not?
Makes sense to me, and that's why Carlin never, started a team up this year, because he's going to wait for next year, I'm thinking. And and next year, that's when McLaren's going to come back and bring Fernando with him for the whole year. That's what I'm thinking too. That is totally my opinion. I don't want anybody, blowing me up saying, "Who told you that?" That's my opinion. I'd like to see happen. Fernando's contract with them.
I just think
is over.
my opinion is I think McLaren's coming. I don't know about Fernando Alonso, but I think McLaren is coming next year.
Well, why not with
My
Fernando?
opinion.
Why not with Fernando? His contract's up in Formula One this year. What's he gonna do? Re-sign him with Formula One because he's been doing. He's having so much fun in Formula One the last couple of years. You kidding me? It's like it's a no-brainer almost. If McLaren comes, I don't see why Fernando wouldn't be with him. And then to save some money, just hire the Indy Lights champion. That's what I'm saying. Who's with me here?
I would like to see it. I know that.
Well, there you go. See? Missy, how are you? You think it could happen, would happen, or won't?
It's always a possibility. Anything's possible.
Sure. Yeah, I know. I mean, I could be going to, whatever. Anyway, anything's possible. We'll see. We will see. So, I guess, okay. Well, we didn't grade the races, Missy. All right, so race 1, a grade.
I give it a.
Is there anything less than an F?
I give it a C, and I'm only going to give it a C because I blame most of it on ABC and their poor showing of the race. Because I found out more what was happening at the race on Twitter than I did actually watching it. So I'm only going to give it a C because of ABC, because I don't feel that they gave the race the, excitement it deserved. Because I'm sure it was a much more exciting race in person, because it seemed like it on Twitter.
And by what Jordan's saying, it sure was. Okay, and race 2.
I'm going to C, same thing.
So C's across the board, huh?
Yeah. I'm giving C minuses. How about that?
Yeah, I'm going a D minus. Yeah, because Graham swept, and the coverage sucked. D minus for me. How about you, Jordan? Of the one race you saw.
I didn't think it was anything that special. I'd maybe a C plus. No, I'll give it a B minus because of the effect. I would give it a B minus just because of. I mean, Graham did it. It really impressed me that he was able to sweep. I know some people who are very good friends with the Ray Halls, so I'm not like a Graham hater. I don't mind Graham.
Don't know him personally, then, huh?
Yeah, I mean, I really don't either, but I'm
I
sure
can
there's
tell.
going to be there's going to be a time we'll meet. I'm guessing.
And then the grade will drop down to D with me. So, just a total different person. No. Anyway, moving on. And person, he's never mind. Privileged rich kid. Anyway, moving on. Boy, did I just say too much. Okay, so, thanks, Tristan. That's all I got to say about that. Anyway, I can thank Tristan for that one too. Yep. Boy, is Tristan just really.
Frank, shut up.
I know. I really need to
God.
move on.
I really need a mute button for you. That would actually come in real handy. It really would. Mute.
I know, right?
Frank, yep, mute. Talking too much. Mute. I need that. I'm gonna look into that.
So, okay, is there any other? They do exist, by the way. Is there any other news that came out of the weekend there, Missy? Because other than that, Detroit really. I mean, with the IMSA. We went over everything else. Yeah. Anything else?
No, I think that was pretty much it. Like I said, Le Mans is coming up, so Le Mans. So everybody's over there so far. I think some of the GTDs were heading over there after this race, but like I said, GTLM was not in Detroit, so they're already over there. And my boys are already putting down.
Yep. Oh, and I think we mentioned it last week, right? Or did we? About Tony Kanaan taking over to Bourdais spot?
Yeah, I
we
saw
did
that.
mention it, but
Right on.
in case we didn't, Tony Kanaan is taking over Sebastian Bourdais' spot with is it Ryan Briscoe and Joey Hand?
I
No,
believe
no, Westbrook. Richard Westbrook was his partner.
Yeah, I was going to say. I think
Ryan
it's,
Briscoe and Richard Westbrook.
Yes. That's who Sebastian was going to race with, so that's who TK's going to race with. So there you go.
Yes.
Alrighty. Since the race is on Saturday for Texas, Lowdown for the Showdown, presented by Missy Lynx, will be up on Thursday. Or, we'll be doing it on Thursday, so remember to, don't make any of your picks until, you listen to Missy's Lowdown for the Showdown on Thursday. And,
Which will not be happening this week.
What do you mean?
I have decided we are no longer doing Lowdown for the Showdown.
Why is that?
Because I stink.
I sucked. You can't help people crashing out and all.
Ugh.
What are you going to do?
So Lowdown for the Showdown was canceled.
You know how we missed, I think, one Lowdown, and oh boy, did I get a whole lot of, please don't cancel it. I get enough notifications daily. I don't need more of people mad.
So anyway, Texas is this weekend. Qualifications will be aired live. Woohoo! Thank you, NBC. You're back. That will be on Friday at 2:15 p.m., airing live on NBC Sports Network. And then practices on Friday will happen at 10 a.m. and 5:45 p.m. Those will be streaming on IndyCar.com, Facebook, Twitter, and YouTube. There will be an encore of qualification on Saturday at 6 p.m. And these are all Central times. And then you will have the race starting at 7 p.m. Central Time on NBC Sports Network. And encore for qualification on Saturday will happen on NBC Sports Network also.
Right on. And, alrighty. Okay, so... Uh,
Is there a Formula One race this weekend? I believe there is.
in Canada.
Canadian Grand Prix.
Yep. The Le Canadien of Le Grand Prix. Oh, I guess. French Canadian or whatever.
That was great.
Thank you, Jordan.
Formula
Thank you.
One Grand Prix du Canada.
Yeah, I think the track is Villeneuve something Villeneuve.
Circuit de Villeneuve, I think.
There you go. That's French. That's French Canadian, Jordan.
Yes.
So their qualifying is on Saturday, and the race will happen on Sunday. 1400 to 1600. Your guess is as good as mine. If that's Central, Eastern.
Check your local listings, folks.
There you go. Because of course it doesn't say what time zone that would be. Well, I assume it would be for
Wish I could remember where that track is.
Montreal's time zone.
Oh, Montreal. Isn't that Central? I don't know, Jordan. You're Central Time, right?
Yeah.
Is
9:20 is Montreal.
Is Montreal north of you?
Uh.
Moving on.
Yeah. No, I think it is. I'm not positive though.
Well, last week I had proposed that we invade Canada from Alaska and move down.
So I got the answer.
What's that?
Montreal is Eastern time because it's 10:20 p.m. now. So Eastern time, everyone. That is Eastern time.
Yeah, I got some really interesting, feedback from that quote that I made last week. It was funny. I wasn't serious. Okay, but anyway, Edmonton would be the first to conquer. That'd be easy. Hey, moving on. Yep. I mean, Christian agreed. Yeah, Christian thought it was funny. Moving on. All right. Mute button is being ordered on eBay by Missy right now.
I'm trying to push it as we speak.
Jordan, where can they find you and follow your career for this year, buddy?
For Facebook, you can find me on Jordan Bernlor Racing, and on Instagram and Twitter, just at Jordan Bernlor.
Right on. And the next time Jordan's on, he will be home with a better sounding mic for the entire freaking show.
Yes.
And if not, he'll never come on again. And he's lucky he wasn't in front of me last week because I would have strangled him.
Oh, I've been so busy, it's unbelievable.
Oh, I'm kidding, man. I know. I'm just joshing with you. We're always happy to have you on, man. We're that. Yeah. I got to mess with you just a little bit. Oh my God, what is that?
Oh, we have to, and no, thank you. I appreciate it for having me on.
Oh, we appreciate you coming on, man. Honestly, I mean, anybody that wants to come on our show, we are more than happy to have them because it just makes the show that much more fun.
Absolutely.
I mean, where else do I get to yell at a race car driver? Come on. I'm kidding. So at any rate, but like I said, for the rest of the season, hope you do Indy, and best of luck, and try to finish races a lot better than what you have because kind of suck, dude.
Yeah, no kidding.
I'm kidding.
No, I know you're kidding, but yeah, no, it's just we just, like I said, we need a bounce back, and we got to figure out what it takes so we can be back where we want, which is the front.
Yep.
So, hey, real quick, are you guys gonna make it to Road America?
Oh, we sure will.
All right, well, hopefully we'll be able to finally meet in person then.
Hell yeah, and we'll definitely do a show in person, man, and it's going to be great, man. Really looking forward to it. Really looking forward to you putting your thing down at Road America, and got a good feeling that you're going to have a really good finish there because Missy is good luck. I'm telling you.
I hope so. I'll bring it every race.
Hey, Missy, am I wrong? You are good luck. I'm telling you. Just ask Parker. So, all right. And Missy, I think on that note.
Oh yes, on that note, you know that I know that even Jordan knows I really need that mute button for rank,